morning, church. Scripture reading this morning will be coming from Ecclesiastes chapter 1, verses 1 through 11. And the word says, "The words of the preacher, the son of David, king in Jerusalem. Vanity of vanities, says the preacher, vanity of vanities. All is vanity. What does man gain by all the toil at which he toils under the sun? A generation goes, and a generation comes, but the earth remains forever. The sun rises, and the sun goes down, and hastens to the place where it rises. The wind blows to the south and goes around to the north. Around and around goes the wind, and on its circuits the wind returns. All streams run to the sea, but the sea is not full. To the place where the streams flow, there they flow again. All things are full of weariness. A man cannot utter it. The eye is not satisfied with seeing, nor the ear filled with hearing. What has been is what will be, and what has been done is what will be done. And there is nothing new under the sun. Is there a thing of which it is said, 'See, this is new'? It has been already in the ages before us. There is no remembrance of former things, nor will there be any remembrance of later things yet to be among those who come after." The word of our Lord.
So we're looking at the book of Ecclesiastes. Ecclesiastes is a fine book to study. Lots of issues with the book of Ecclesiastes. There's a struggle at times with the verbiage within it. One of the key ones that you saw today is, how do we use the word vanity today? How do we as primarily English speakers use the word vanity in our culture? Carly What's-Her-Name has a song called "You're So Vain," that you probably think this song is about you, don't you? Don't you? It's in your head now, isn't it? You'll be at lunch going, "Why he did that?" Don't make me start whistling the Copacabana, because I'll put that one in your head too. How do we use the word vanity? Self-love. We can't stop going past the mirror where we go, I'll make this Texas shirt look good. I know it's probably giving y'all a headache. The reason why I bought it, because it gave me a headache. So I figured I'd just return the favor. Besides, I like red and black, so, anyhow. But we use it in a way in which we're talking about arrogance, pride, self-love. That is not how the original English users meant this word. Typically, the way you would translate this is meaningless. Okay, great. But you got to understand, it's a figure of speech. You see the word up on the wall, it says vapor. In the Hebrew, this word means a breath that you would have on a cold morning, and it goes out of your mouth, and then it disappears. Or vapor that comes out for a minute, and then it's gone, like out of a vaporizer kind of thing. This past Saturday, I smoked some pork belly, and the smoke would rise out, but eventually it got to a point that the smoke itself would disappear. And that's the purpose of what the author is trying to tell you about the book of Ecclesiastes, is that your life, divorced from a holy God, is a vapor. Remember, your life with a holy God is a vapor. The text tells us that man's days are like the grass of the field. The wind blows on it, and its place is remembered no more. And so how and what do you do with the book of Ecclesiastes? Well, actually, you can pull it forward quite nicely to our culture today, because there's a lot of things that Ecclesiastes addresses more like that we seem to have in our culture today than in other times. And one of the things about it is, especially when we come to the book of Ecclesiastes, is many of you think you know who the author is, and you do not. It is not Solomon. Doesn't mean it's not Solomon's language, but Solomon does not write this book. That's why you have an introduction of a two-stage introduction. The Koheleth, that's what the word preacher means. The Hebrew word for that is the Koheleth, king in Jerusalem. And here's the thing is, king in Jerusalem can mean any king. So how do we solve this riddle of who the author is? Well, we want to say it's Solomon, but the problem is we have writings of Solomon. We have Psalmic Hebrew, and guess what? This book doesn't have it. Has none of the markers of Psalmic Hebrew, has none of the grammar of Psalmic Hebrew, has none of the writings of Solomon. It is totally different than Hebrew that Solomon has written. As a matter of fact, we can't pinpoint an age in the Hebrew culture when this book is written. Why? Because it doesn't match the Hebrew within the Hebrew culture. Does that mean it's written after? No. It just means being able to narrow down who the author is a little bit harder than simply going, well, he says the preacher and he's a king, it has to be Solomon. Now, some of the ways that you approach this is, well, it's Solomon and he's using a different secretary. That's a possibility, but that doesn't happen since. Another way to write this is there's a guy that's writing in Solomon's name, and he's using Solomon's authority to write these down, but now you have a problem in the fact that you have an anonymous author writing down things that are described to be to one person. If you go over and look at Proverbs 25 to 29, and this happens also in other sections of Proverbs, you will have a statement like this. It'll say, the writings or the words of Solomon written down by the scribes of Hezekiah king. So Proverbs 25 through 29 are the sayings of Solomon. They're known and attributed to Solomon, but they are codified by Hezekiah's scribes. And I think that's what's happening here. That's why you have the ambiguous Koheleth, which simply, the word Ecclesiastes is a transliteration. It comes from the Greek word ecclesiastical, which simply means church stuff and church things. Ecclesiastical material is material you would find in church. Offering plates. We don't call them dinner plates. They're offering plates. They're ecclesiastical things. Communion trays. That's things you find in church. It also stands for, Ecclesiastes stands for the group that's drawn out, or a called out group. And so you have that that's assigned to it. But all Ecclesiastes is a Greek transliteration of the Hebrew word koheleth, which means preacher. And so the author is identified as the preacher. The writings within the book are definitely Solomon's statements, but are codified by an author-compiler. And that shouldn't be a problem with you, because that's how some of the books of Moses are done. Moses was not at the conversation between God and Abraham. He's using compilations of sources and the Holy Spirit to write. So I don't have a problem with that. And some of the other issues that you have with the dating is some folks want to say, well, this is more Greek writing. There are no evidence of Greek influence in this book at all. There's also no evidence of Persian influence, which keeps it out of the exilic periods. So it's written early. Because one of the things is, well, the Song of Solomon is written by a young Solomon. Ecclesiastes is written by old Solomon. It kind of shoots that theory in the foot. Now, this does fit a unique type of Hebrew literature. Actually, literature in general is called pessimism literature. And if you read the opening statements, if you read it from side to, I look good, oh, I look good, to meaninglessness of meaninglessness. Everything is meaningless. Well, that's kind of pessimistic. You'll never see that. You'll never see this on a Hallmark card. Meaninglessness of meaninglessness, says the preacher. Meaninglessness of meaninglessness. All this meaninglessness. Hallmark, when you care enough to send the very best. Unless you are twisted or sick in mind, will you send that to anybody? But that's the point that Solomon is trying to get across to the reader, is that a life that is divorced from the work of God is a life of meaninglessness. Because there's no reason for your moral living. There's no reason for your moral behavior. There's no reason for you to act rightly. There's no reason outside of a holy God. You cannot have ethics divorced from a holy God. You can have them, but there's no authority for them. As Christians, our ethics have an authority. I do these things because a holy God says to do them. The atheist does these things because they have to appeal to our argument. Because it's the right thing to do. Well, who defines what right is? Well, we define right. Okay, so is it right if all of us agree to torture? Who's sitting on the front row? Sorry, Shelley. We all agree. If you sit up front, you get called on. I almost went with Brother Anthony, but he's one row back. Is it right if we all agree, let's say the whole nation agrees, that we put Shelley to death for all this rain? Is that right? How do you know? If there is no God and laws are subjected to our understanding of right and wrong, how do you know that's right? You don't. Because there is no reference to right and wrong in the atheistic worldview. The only worldview that provides a right and wrong is one in which a God says in Genesis chapter 9, verse 6, you shall not strike the image of God so it dies. There's your ethics. You will not find that? And you go, well, we as a society, okay, great. That's John Stuart Mill's argument too, by the way. John Stuart Mill, hey, listen, if you live with a bunch of sadists, then you got to do what the sadists say, and you got to participate and enjoy doing it. Uh-oh. Ethics is then determined by the people. And think about the meaninglessness of life in that. And that brings to several worldviews that you come up with. One, the primarily view in which I think this book really works well at defeating is the secular humanistic philosophy. And we're going to look at several of those here in a moment. And basically, I've got notes for those because I was not going to remember them all. I think they're up there on the board. Have we not moved the slide forward yet? One more. One more. Do you not have those slides? There we go. Secular philosophy generally refers to philosophical thought that does not rely on a religious or supernatural explanations. We typically know that as atheism, agnosticism. I don't want a God to have authority over me. Well, congratulations. Whether you like that or not, he is an authority over you. The Count of Monte Cristo, one of my favorite movies. It's a little bit older. It's got Jim Caviezel and Guy Pearce, and I forget the girl's name that's in it, but anyhow, it's fantastic. He's in prison with Richard Harrison, who's playing a priest, and I always butcher his name. And Jim Caviezel's character, Edmond Dantes, looks and says, do not speak of God. He has no existence in here. And he goes, you don't believe in God? He says, I don't believe in God. He goes, it's a shame because God believes in you. See, your failure and your resistance to believe in a holy God doesn't make him disappear. Do you know how I know? I'm going to show you. Ready? Did you go anywhere? Did you go anywhere? Are you still here? I can't see you. Wow. I was easily refuted. Just because I can't see you and don't believe you're in the room, does that mean that you're not in the room? No! You would think if I did that loudly enough that I was a little mashugad. That means off. Another philosophy that works this way in the church is called pragmatism. Pragmatism is dangerous to Christianity because pragmatism, while it isn't wrong, a great example is when my dog gets out of the yard, pragmatism tells me to build a fence tall enough to keep the dog in. The dog gets out, you whip the dog until the dog stops getting out. Now the dog stops getting out. That's okay. In those realms, pragmatism works great. But typically what happens in Christianity, we bring pragmatism into the church by, it worked, the numbers are large, therefore it's good. And we base the outcome, we base the goodness of a thing based upon the outcome of the thing. All that is relativism. The ends justify the means. I'll give you a great example. Pastors are judged by how big their congregations are. So if a pastor has a large congregation, he must be a great pastor. Is that true? What if I put $5 in every hymn book and announced it every Sunday? Would I have people in church? Yeah. Is that a good thing? Absolutely not. They're not here to hear the words of Jesus Christ. They're here to get $5 out of the hymn book. And I guarantee you there'll be fistfights on that section of the pew right there because there are no hymn books. Secondly, another thing that'll happen is all my hymn books will be destroyed. But you're making money. No, I'm not. See, that's pragmatism. Large numbers equal large success. Is that the case? No. Matter of fact, if you read Paul, all in Asia have abandoned me. I see Apostle Paul. One of the next examples, and this is one that's really prevalent and has been taught to your youth, is nihilism. The reason why young kids shoot people in school has nothing to do with firearms. It has everything to do is the fact that you have been told that there is no life beyond this world, and what you do here has no meaning. It's nihilism, which means if nothing has meaning and no life has meaning, what does it matter if I shoot Shelley from the pulpit? Who cares? The only people that care are the people that have a legitimate authority that comes from God. Everybody else, what difference does it make? And secondly, why is it a sad thing? You have to borrow from the Christian worldview to get a sad thing. The deaths of these children in Central Texas under nihilism should have no sad meaning. See, they have to borrow from Christianity to make their view work. Because if there's nothing and there's no purpose, then why does death have any meaning at all? And this is where Solomon in this book is going to lay this argument out for you that life without a holy God has no self-validity, has no definable goals. Last one is materialism. You also throw in naturalism. Materialism, not the wanting of property, but materialism in that all that exists is that of matter. And he's going to make this point here in a little bit. If you saw it, the water flows into the ocean and it doesn't rise. There's a really crude joke that came to my mind about rivers flow into streams, and I'm not going to finish that out. Seriously, you don't know that joke? See me afterwards, I'll tell it to you. My goodness. I'm sorry, naturalism is there. Naturalism is the philosophy and the belief that nature is the ultimate reality and that all the phenomena can be explained in natural causes. I don't need a God to tell you how the world runs. And the problem is when you have a God that makes the world, it's kind of hard to explain how the world runs without having God as its author. And our culture has run to these arguments and to a mishmash of these arguments. And this is what you're seeing amongst the younger generation that's coming up in their early 18, 19s, 20s, and things like that. They're realizing the futility of these arguments because they don't answer questions. And Solomon in his writing here in this text, notice I give the authority to who actually the source comes from, though it's compiled probably by scribes of Hezekiah. Don't have a problem with that. Don't have a problem with that. He says this: vanity of vanities, all is vanity. Vapor, everything on earth is a vapor. This is why later on he makes the mention of chasing after the wind. How many of you have ever chased the wind? I can tell you one thing, drive a Jeep. It'll find you. You want to know what it's like to drive a Jeep? Get a 4x8 sheet of plywood and run it across a parking lot on a windy day. You now know what it's like to drive a Jeep. Vapor, vapor, all is vapor. When you put it in that language, does chasing that next promotion equate to something great or something that is really meaningless? See, outside a relationship with a holy God, all the things that we spend our time doing, he's going to talk about this here in a moment, is meaningless. It has no meaning. Now, what we do is we try to assign meaning to it by, well, I'll be able to retire. I'll be able to sit and be comfortable. I'll be able to do all these great things. Great. However, what have you done and what have you sacrificed? Ethics, morals, integrity to get to that point. And then when you die, guess what's going to happen? Someone else is going to get your stuff. I believe there's a Bible verse that mentions that you collect things for other people. What does a man gain by all the toil which he toils under the sun? Under the sun is only found in the book of Ecclesiastes. You will not find that phrase outside of the book of Ecclesiastes. This is one of those weird markers that makes Ecclesiastes difficult to pinpoint, because this word it's what you would call a hapaxagon. It's used one time in here in Scripture, and it's used throughout the book. Under the sun means all the things under the scope of a holy God. If your work has no meaning, why work? If your ethics have no anchor, why be ethical? If your family life has no meaning, why instill values in children? Matter of fact, why instill values in children at all? Because the values are made up by each family. Imagine if you came to a building where everybody instilled different sets of values into their own children. Would you have unity or chaos? Absolute chaos. And you're starting to see this in our culture today because we cannot define what a man or a woman is. And the confusion and craziness that comes with that. Well, there is a standard. God has delineated that standard, and he's determined what those things are. But divorced from God, look at the insanity the world will gravitate to. Which is why you have a lot of people today going, well, I don't know why I would want to work and spend all my time and do vacations later in life. So now amongst young people, they'll work really, really hard, and some of them will quit their job, and then they'll go on long vacations, and then they'll come back. And what they're going to find out, though, is as they get older, the body gets tired of working, and they're going to want to sit on their behind in their later lives and watching that big screen TV. And they're not going to be able to because they didn't save money because they spent it all on vacations while they were young. But there's trade-offs. But who's to say that's right or wrong? Because there's no biblical standard if there's no God. You see the problem. What is the gain of work if there's no definition for what good labor is? Secondly, why don't I just enslave you all and make you all work for me? After all, there are no ethics, because the God that established ethics establishes these things, and if he's not there to establish things, what's wrong with me enslaving you? By the way, all abolitionist movements that eradicate slavery, every single one of them are started by Christians. Not a single one was started by atheists. Why? Because the atheist worldview allows for slavery. If you go watch, there's a man by the name of Matt Dillahunty. He actually ended up having to defend that Hitler did a good thing by slaughtering 4 million Jews. Why? Because there was no God to determine what was right and wrong. And you can see it in his eyes that he realizes, I'm having to defend the undefensible. Absolutely you are! Because there is no defensibility without a holy God saying this is wrong. Let's look forward. A generation goes and a generation comes, but the earth remains forever. The sun rises and the sun goes down and hastens to its place where it rises. The wind blows to the south, goes around to the north, goes around. no flat earth. And around it goes. The wind on its circuits the wind returns. Nature is a closed loop outside of a holy God. This is what naturalism will teach you. There's nothing outside the natural world. This is what materialism teaches. There's nothing outside the natural material world. Everything else that doesn't exist. Which means, here's the thing, both under naturalism, nihilism, and materialism, is there's no meaning for anything. And you have no freedom of will in any of those worldviews. You know why? Because you can only do what your chemicals in your body are allowed to do. Because the only things that make decisions are the chemicals that exist in your body. It's a self-refuting view. Because when they go, well, we get to make up these rules. No, you don't. The chemicals in your body make up those rules. What? Yeah, see, this is why it's so easy to blow out of the water. And yet, they still believe it. And it's taught. It's taught in college campuses. The world continues to turn. You're going to go into the grave. So your toil without a holy God does not affect the surface of the earth. Your toil without a holy God does not affect sea levels. Your toil without a holy God doesn't affect plant life. Why? Because all that exists has already existed and it will always exist. It may not exist in that form, but it will always exist as a material thing. Why? Because it can't be destroyed, neither can it be created. That's one of the views. And people believe that, but then they don't because they steal from the Christian worldview to make that work. You don't alter how the wind blows. Your toil can't alter how the wind blows. I know. A lot of scientism has been taught to you that we do. We're not that powerful. All streams run to the sea, but the sea's not full. It's not like a bathtub when you turn on the spigot and you close the drain, the tub fills. No, if you open the drain, will you fill the tub? No, you can't. It's impossible. Water's just going to run out the bottom of the thing. And we all do that. My parents used to be really upset when we turn the water on high and leave it on, leave the room, come back, and they go, why? Water isn't free. Well, I thought it was as a kid because I didn't pay the bills. Then I went through the house like my dad a few days ago. Like, who left this light on? What are we going to do? Air condition the whole outside? You guys didn't have parents that said that? Well, I did a lot. That ain't a TV inside that refrigerator. Grab something, close the door. You can always tell the folks that had parents like that and the ones that didn't, because the ones that didn't will just stand there like there's a movie going on. Do you see anything in there that you like? I'm still looking. There's like 10 things in there. You've looked at them. Pick one of the 10. You have a 1 in 10 shot of picking something. Grab it. If I'd have done that, I'd have gotten a whooping. Different people, different strokes. Notice what it says. Streams run into the sea, but the sea's not full. And to the place where streams flow, they flow again. When you understand how the world circuit works, how do we get rain? You get hot days. What happens when hot sun gets over top of things with water? And evaporation then forms these things in the sky called. And when the clouds get enough water within it, they do what? Is that a closed circuit? Yes. Yes. As a young boy, I lived in Michigan, and I never heard of this thing. And I guess the folks here from Michigan, it's called lake effect snow. You think it's a myth until you live there, and then you realize lake effect snow is a really big deal. Nobody else is getting snow, but because a cold wind blows across Lake Michigan, you're going to get snow, which is not bad when you're a kid because you know that you get to stay home from school. And then, of course, you think that because they used to live in Mississippi, which like that much was close to school. Up there, like, I ain't dead. So you end up going to school anyway. We get summer-caused rain. Middle of summertime, it gets really hot and there's a lot of moisture on the ground. What will we get? Afternoon thunderstorms. Why is that? Well, because we're evaporating up, making clouds. Rain. It's a closed system. And outside of a life, or outside of a holy life or a life of human beings, it will continue to run without you. Why? Because a creator made it that way. Just like my watch will continue to run even if it's not on my wrist. Why? Because it was made that way. You're not going to shape the earth. You're not going to ruin the earth. You're not going to anything. Why? Because a holy God made it and closed the system by which it's in. All things are full of weariness, vapor. All things are transitory, meaning that they don't have real meaning. And from the secular worldview, nothing in life has meaning. From the nihilistic worldview, nothing in life has meaning. You have to steal from Christianity to make anything have meaning over here. Why? Because if there's no God, there's no ethics. If there's no ethics, there's no right and wrong. And if there's no right and wrong, it doesn't matter what I do. If the system is a closed loop where all we are is natural things and what I do is already determined because the physical chemicals within me, then it doesn't matter what I do. Do you see the danger of these views in culture? Do you see the dangers of these views in political circles? If you have politicians that believe that all you are is fizzing bags of chemicals and it doesn't matter what you do, then should they be writing laws? Because here's the thing is, in order to write a law, you must have a lawgiver. And in order to have a lawgiver, you must have somebody outside the loop to make sure that the law is just and right. Otherwise, you'll make laws that benefit you. Eye is not satisfied with seeing, nor the ear is filled with hearing. When you look at man on his base nature, his eyes are filled and his heart, what he's talking about is a metaphor, is filled with gluttony and desire and covetousness. Outside of an ethic, one of the justifications for doing anything is because it provides me pleasure. Matter of fact, that's many of the argumentations for ethics outside of Christianity is it brings pleasure. Well, the question then is, pleasure to whom? Because for everything that I do that's pleasurable for me, there will be people that it won't be pleasurable for. Right? Follow that argument? Okay. The eye is not satisfied with seeing, the ear is not filled with hearing. Outside of a holy God, there is no such thing as contentment. Because it requires a holy God to know what contentment is. How do I know what contentment is? Well, I'll go back to the creation of the book of Genesis. On the seventh day, the Lord did what? Rest in the Old Testament has a component of contentment with it. The Lord saw that he was done, and he called it not just good, he called it very good. And he ceased action at that moment. If you look at our culture today, contentment is something we all want, but we pursue the wrong things to get it. If I have more money, I'll just be content. No, you won't. You'll want more money. If I have more food, I'll just be content. No, you won't. How do I know? Because you have cultures that all they did was eat and eat and eat until they were full, and then they would go to the vomitorium and they go, and I won't do that for you because that's like make everybody be done. But they toss their cookies, and you know what they do once they empty their stomach? They go back and eat. There wasn't contentment with that. We have an obesity problem in America, not because we can't exercise, because we don't want to exercise, but we also have an obesity problem in America because if you look at our portion size, they've gone through the roof. And when we go out to eat later on today, you think about that food you're shoveling in your mouth, you go, oh, vapor! Because think about it, it ultimately is. It goes into the mouth, and this is what I think Mark says. It goes into the mouth, it's processed through the body, and comes out the end. There it goes. It comes right out of Mark. Look at me, like it's weird. Mark wrote that. I didn't. What has been is what will be. What has been done is what will be done. There's nothing new under the sun. Is there anything of which it is said, see, this is new? It has already been. Or has been already, depending on your translation. In the ages before us, there is no remembrance of former things, nor will there be remembrance of later things. Yet, to be among those who come after, what is he saying? Well, God, there's no purpose for anything. If you look at what it is, you can't, without a Holy God, you can't have a definition of new. You can't have a definition. Why? Because if all things are materialistic, if all things exist and have always existed and don't exist outside of the material realm, you can't have anything new in that system. It just changes forms. It's not new. It's still the same material. It just shifts its forms. Well, think about a worldview that has that. Matter of fact, most of science that isn't Christian operates on a materialist worldview. So what they're bringing to the table is materialism. The problem with that is you have nothing new. Why? Because all that is already existed and will always exist and will always be and will never stop. And you are nothing more than a cog in a wheel. And when you're done, they'll take you out and put you in with a new cog, but your cog becomes something else. Sounds kind of, yeah, isn't it? And yet there are people that believe that. I took a class on it. I had to read books on that. And I'm sitting there reading it like, oh, you people need Jesus. And they really do. But they write as though I'm the weird one. There are no remembrance of former things, nor there will be remembrance of latter things yet to come. Why? Because if nothing has meaning, think about it. If nothing has meaning, then there's no meaning in any of the things you do. So you have this view where you're like, oh, I can't wait to go on vacation. Well, if vacations have no meaning, then what purpose is there to store memories? It has no meaning. Oh, I remember this trip. What was important about it? Nothing. Imagine going, I was stationed in Italy, and so you go down to Pisa, or you go down to Rome, because Pisa is really interesting because you got this building that leans for some reason. And everybody wants their picture with it. Like you'll see them all standing out there like this, and when the photo's taken, it looks like they're holding the building up. It's kind of neat, kind of weird. But here's the thing is, without any meaning, why do that? If there's no purpose in living, if there's no purpose in life, if there's no purpose in anything that you do, why take that photo? Imagine going and doing all that and coming back and go, so I understand you went to Pisa. Yeah, what was that like? It was like coming here to eat. There's no meaning in it. And this is how Solomon sets up this book between the two world positions of without a holy God, there has absolutely no meaning to anything in life. But with a holy God, and he's going to get into this as we go through the book, there's great meaning in the toils of man's hand. There's a great definition of ethics. There's a great understanding of right and wrong. And you cannot mix this with any other culture out here and go, oh, we made it work. No, you didn't. What you did was you bastardized God's law. That's what it says. There's no remembrance of things yet among those who come afterwards. pass down any meaning? Why work hard and pass down money if money has no value? Why work hard and pass down any ethics if ethics has no value? Why work really hard? Why do anything? Why even get out of bed? Why even have a bed? Who's to say you should have a bed? See, when you start peeling back the onion on these world views, there's no value in these world views. Outside of the knowledge of a holy God who, as if we know from the New Testament, has bought us and paid for us. Sent his son to die for us. See, that's where the value comes in. He doesn't buy us because we ourselves have value. He buys us because he puts value in us. And there's the distinction that we've got to have. We're not great because we're great. We're great because we have a great God who loves us. Let's see the distinction. You're here today. You've been coming for the church for a while, and you would like to join the membership of Skyline Baptist Church. I'd love to sit and talk to you up front about becoming a member. You're here today, and you've lived a life of absolute meaninglessness. Let me help you out. Your life's a vapor. And outside the love of a holy God, when it ends, you die, you go into the grave, and then you go into punishment. I don't write the rules. I'm just telling you what they are. And as such, if you were to die in your trespasses and sin this morning without knowing who a holy God is, that is the fate. But here's the great thing, is there is a God who sent his son into this world, who died upon the cross for your sin, and would love to have fellowship with you if you would come down and confess him as Lord and Savior of your life. As the praise team leads us out, please stand.